the Morphling, you can't really touch the lifestealer, so they're gonna be like seeing a lot of engagements on the mid lane, and whoever gets the ahead start, like Storm or Pango, is gonna dictate you know, the first 15-20 minutes of the game.
All right, well, let's see what happens. So we've already set ourselves on the move here. Parivision and Falcon side setting up towards middle. Some wards placed down already. Can they find vision? Harry, how do you feel about the Marcy and the Crystal Maiden? You have any personal preferences about this support duo?
When I see this support duo, I'm thinking early mid-game to mid-game, we are running forward, right? We just want to kill, kill, kill. You don't want the game to slow down completely with these two, especially in the early stages of the game. If you allow that to happen, then this bounty hunter will have opportunities to find you, delay the game, take away your vision, and then you wait for the Centaur and the Pango to go for those kills. So you want to be ahead if you're Parivision. So I'm expecting for them to create some big chaos on the map. Like
You're such a chaos lover.
It's just that some of these lineups need to be played that way. It is a necessity, and Amar is already taking a beating.
Yeah, with some tangos brought up, we'll have to burn a little bit of extra regen as he's on his way back to the lane. Well, of course, you got Crit to help you out on that.
Is he gonna smack the Collis a bit? I mean, he should, as soon as he sees the Morphling going away.
I mean, it looks like they're almost setting up for a potential kill on the Crystal Maiden, so Satanic turns around to help out a bit. We're going to poke the CM here to Collis. He's already down to 150. Got to be careful here with Crit and Amar have the movement speed, and Falcons will get themselves first on the board. It is Amar for first blood.
Yeah, Satanic needed to walk closer to the CM. They just forgot that they can turn around on this hero. It's just so slow. Look at the center. He's 315, and the poor CM, she doesn't even move.
Barely any movement speed, and getting caught like that. It was a good plan there from Falcons, considering that Amar wasn't taking that huge amount of damage, that you can just walk onto the high ground into the fog of war, turn around and try to find yourself a kill on the CM, and it definitely works out.
It's weird, I've seen a couple of Centaurs not get the Ring of Protection. I'm glad Amar did, because versus a Morphling and his right clicks, you would be in a world of hurt with zero armor, but having the Ring of Protection allowed him to not really get beat up all that much, and then he had the capability to turn it around.
So far, so good. At least in terms of CS, you already got the Phoenix here. What do you think is the most important timing here for the Phoenix? Are we looking at like level 12, getting that level 2 ulti egg, or is that even the thing about the hero?
So overall, in the laning stage, level 1 and 2 are your weaknesses, right? Level 1 Fire Spirits, they heal the opponents basically, right? They don't do no damage, and then it doubles up on level 3. So every odd level on the Phoenix is a big deal, especially for an offlane Phoenix. And level 12, not that big of a deal any longer. When it used to be 5 hits for neg level 1 and then 8 on level 2, it was a big deal. Now, from 6 to 8, it doesn't really change all that much. And
yeah, very minor addition, yeah.
Exactly, and here you're using the egg to kill people rather than to survive and organize a team fight, at least in the early stages of the game for the Phoenix.
Yep, quick pause. Well, Amar has got his hands in the air right now on this Centaur. Ready to land a stun on top of that Morphling and hope to get a good burst out.
Чувствуешь дрожь в коленках.
Yep. See the pose right there?
Yep. It actually looks awesome. Like, rah!
And smack right on top of the Morphling, but Satanic's going to be all right with this. Building up some Magic Wand stacks for himself, seeing that he built that wand pretty early, expecting a lot of spells to be flung in that lane. And you kind of need to as a Morphling anyway.
And this is, I mean, CM is a great laner, Morphling can be, but together they don't really work that well together, right? Because the CM wants an aggressive carry that is going to be going forward. So the Collis has to be very, very careful in this lane, because they're going to utilize that inability of the Morphling to do massive amounts of damage early and try to kill the CM a couple of times.
Well, everybody's enjoying their CS so far. Storm getting a bit ahead of the Pangolier. And Skitter's actually dropping low. Parivision! Well surprised, the Lifestealer.
With level 2 at that, and the Collis somehow gets himself a Healing Lotus versus a Bounty Hunter that almost never happens.
Pretty important for the CM to have it, right?
For sure.
Stun combo, and they nuke Satanic.
He was
so
almost
clean.
in range.
That was so clean.
The Collis was almost in range for the Healing Lotus. He gets the Healing Lotus off, there's a chance he survives. Unfortunately, again, we're seeing the downsides of the CM movement speed.
Yeah, you need to get to that level 3. You have Nova and the Aura
Turrets are fortified.
But still no point into Frostbite, which I think that changes quite a lot. Malrine dancing around the trees here, but no one. And Malrine dropping, but no one might be the one to die, but he gets the kill, and he will drop right after. No one will get all of that golden experience going his way off of trading the Pango.
The experience is very much important, right? You want to get your level 6 before the Pango, and you're definitely getting it. He's almost a full level ahead of this Pangolier, and this is what we expected. We saw Pango. What can lane well versus it? A Storm Spirit, and no one of the best laners in Dota for, I don't know, man. It's been like 6, 7, even more years.
I mean, you could basically just say like the whole existence of Dota. You could mention that no one has definitely been out there. Still looking to build on his legacy, while no one
is coming.
The man in question here, Malrine and Crit gonna fight against him. There's mass TPs coming in. Can no one still grab some damage onto Crit? Drops the sentry down, hoping for a kill, but not quite close enough. And 9 class will toss Malrine all the way down to the river. They'll get some extra hits on him. Has to shield crash straight back in.
They attempted Storm, just naturally has a lot of armor, so your physical damage spells aren't really going to be doing all that much. And we saw earlier the kill onto the Morphling, but I don't think that matters all that much as the kill onto the Lifestealer, because for the Lifestealer you don't really expect him to be dying early, especially not versus a Phoenix.
Yeah. There's another sneak attack coming straight down to the mid lane. There's the bounty sitting around again. Probably Crit knows about the sentry placed down,
but he doesn't know about the ward, so no one is well aware that his bounty is in the vicinity. He's still being sandwiched from both sides.
Yes, Malrine from the right, Crit from the left. He misses the swashbuckle completely, and that might just cost him his kill opportunity. Crit takes some huge hits. Malrine to follow under the tower. Once this one, he'll get it, and Malrine will tank some tower hits, but he's gonna be okay.
Despite missing a swashbuckle, they still get the kill. Just goes to show how well this move was planned. And I mean, no one even saw the bounty hunter.
TP.
Exactly. He even saw the bounty hunter went invis there on his vision, so he knew he was gonna be hunting him, annoying somewhere in the vicinity, but he didn't expect this.
Precious bounty.
And with those early TP rotations from 9 class and Dakalis, they didn't have enough for a second round. And now talking about the Marcy, Malrine with his level 6 will take down the Marcy. That is an arcane, however, for the Storm Spirit. And of course, when no one, as a Storm Spirit, is able to control the action runes, that's where the Storm Spirit looks the scariest, right? You want to shut down the hero not having access to these runes.
The thing is, right, Arcane Rune is the best rune for the Storm, but usually you look at Storm as you want to rotate with a 2nd power rune, 3rd power rune. That is when you have those levels to do enough damage. So I'm not really sure that this Arcane Rune is gonna be able to be used aggressively. Maybe if some dive is happening, so you're TPing in to help. But rotating with a Storm level 6, level 7 just doesn't feel the greatest.
It's more of a min-max increase, right?
Exactly.
Still wants to get to his power trades ASAP. Meanwhile, looking at net worth, you've got the Centaur and the Pango so far ahead of the rest of the pack. Phoenix not having that much of a joy in his laning stage, even though they did find a kill for Parivision down there.
Well, this is getting scary for Parivision, right? Because you needed your Storm to have a really good time, and it started off that way. But this is why people are afraid of the Bounty Hunter, because it changes some matchups that naturally should go the other way. So what's gonna happen now in the early mid-game, Parivision, they need to have the strength to go forward to get kills with the CM, with the Marcy, but because the Storm is not having the greatest of times, that might be too hard to do. So I really want to see how they deal with this problem in the next 5 minutes.
Well, Falcons already getting 2,000 gold ahead here early on, and we have those level 6 timings on the supports, with Crit especially going to be very important to get the track up and hope that every trade that you're getting versus Parivision, even if it's 1-1, it's a win.
Oh, we'll see if they can make it happen, but the Centaur is so far. You're gonna have a Lifestealer that is gonna be hard to move from the lane. You're gonna have a Centaur that is hard to move from the lane, and then you're gonna have this Bounty Hunter giving vision. Getting kills for Parivision is gonna be very, very hard. And Falcons, they want to extend this laning stage. They don't want those early mid-game fights. Maybe Malrine if he rotates, but the 2 side lanes are gonna be standing their grounds from what it seems.
Trying to set up here, hoping to find the kill here on the Morphling, but Satanic moves away just in time. Not another surprise stun lock onto him. So Dire Scan down into the middle lane. We're a bit suspicious what's going on there.
He's queuing up a Vlad's on the Morphling.
All right.
DM is
That
in
will be a
trouble.
classic. DM does get the roll away, but does
Not
he
going
live?
anywhere.
Doesn't probably, as Malrine is here with an amplified damage. And Pango will find his third kill of the game, building up a killing spree.
So Vlad's is something that we do see often, but not every time on the Morphling. It gives me definitely confidence that Parivision do want to include the Morphling in taking down those towers, especially pushing out the Lifestealer out of his own lane. You need a heavy physical damage dealer, and Morphling is the only one that you've got.
Let's see what Parivision can do so far. Bit of a quiet start, but now things could start ramping up for them.
They want the Phoenix again on Falcons, and this could cost them this greed.
See if they can get this one. The jump on Malrine and staking at the back, and there's Skitter to help him out. Oh, get some damage back. Here comes the Sense ulti. Crit targets 9 class, wants to take the Marcy down. Has to run away. Dakala's dropping low. CM feeling a bit defenseless. Frostbite into rage. Does nothing to Skitter. Dakala's will drop. And Parivision can't make that gank work.
This is so dangerous for Parivision. They understand what they need to be doing, but they just don't have the damage to bring down the big hero. They went for Malrine. He didn't have the Rolling Thunder, but a double shield crash makes him so tanky that you've got no chance of taking him down. Parivision are too weak at the moment for their lineup to work at all.
Oh, let's see what Marcy does with that jump straight on top of Crit, but 9 class is just gonna go down here with his own aggression. Has to pay the price.
I think they need to change their plan, right? I'm pretty sure that they've gotten the cues of their coach. Guys, around the 10-minute mark, go in, go fight. But they're gonna have to change that. The game is just not developing in a way that they wanted, and they're still going forward.
Especially when the last time we saw Falcons play that Bounty Hunter lineup back in the, I think it was the Swiss stage, they didn't quite make it work out because they lacked the early kills, right? You had the Bounty and the Lina in that specific lineup. Now, when you have these early kills and you're getting towards your level 6, this Bounty's still missing out on track for a moment, but we'll get it soon. It's pretty scary for Parivision because you did highlight the fact they need to be ahead.
Yeah, the Marcy and the CM, when they're this far behind their food, right? And when you have a hero who just elevates the amount of gold that you get for that food, it becomes really, really scary for Parivision.
Malrine comes to help out Crit. Probably knows that he was under a sentry this whole time. And Phoenix's net worth is falling very badly behind. Usually, I feel like this hero usually does farm pretty fast, but 3,600 and the next hero is at over 4K.
They were prepared. They were prepared for the Phoenix, and they knew exactly how they wanted to play versus it. Maybe level 2, level 3, you could pressure the Lifestealer. Not any longer. When the Lifestealer gets his phase boost, this hero is just mostly untouchable in a lane. You need multiple heroes to push him out. Very rarely you even get the kill.
Probably puts a lot of stress on DM, but still that Phoenix has a part to play in this game. Or sooner or later.
Falcons still need to utilize this this opportunity that was given to them. So they've got an urn, they've got drums, they've got level 6 on the Bounty Hunter. Now you need to get those kills. Just as Parivision's lineup is pretty good at getting those kills, Falcons' lineup with the Bounty Hunter also wants to be getting those. So now is their timing as well, right? They've got some big items, and the Blink Dagger on the Centaur is almost done as well.
And another action rune just taken away by Falcons. It's going to be haste bottled up for the Pangolier, so no one is getting his hands. He got to that Arcane rune, but that feels like the only one he's picked up so far.
We have to be keeping our eyes on Satanic, right? He's gonna find a way to help his team.
Yeah.
We'll see when, but he is needed, and I think him as a player, he feels it at the moment.
Dugalis. They see an easy CM for a track kill, and they will take it. Another one for Malrine and some bonus gold given by the Bounty.
They understand how far ahead they are and that the enemies don't have the damage right now. So if you just keep elevating your lead, you're going to get to a point where it's an insurmountable one. Things are rough for Pari.
Thinking about the Storm Spirit's perspective here, what runes do we still have left in the first rune cycle? I think we still have like Illusion, maybe an Invis. Did we see a regen yet? Because that regen could maybe be a changer for
I think we haven't seen a regen.
Because that could be something for no one to pick up and really just get the team together at 14 minutes and play for the rune.
It's just that his damage is low. You have to, whatever, okay, getting a good rune is important, but it's still, you need to get the Morphling and the Storm together. Or the Morphling and the supports together. That is just how it has to work at this point, because you don't have enough to kill these heroes, especially like Centaur, the Lifestealer, very hard to kill, and imagine if the Pango gets his Rolling Thunder off, he's not going down, so you need to prevent him from making that happen.
Well, his haste pops now, 20 seconds for the next one. And indeed, Blade Mail Blink ready on Amar, and they are stacking up to mid. They are doing exactly what you're supposed to. Though Crit is going to get caught by Takalis and no one. And they'll find a kill off of this Bounty Hunter in a matter of moments, and there we go. No one will clean this one up. Much needed kill on the side of Parivision as Falcons roaming free, targeting the Wisdom for a moment. It was a shield rune that spawned this time around. That was denied by Takalis. And Storm wasn't able to get into it. And now DM, he doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. Snaking on the side. It's going to be an Impetus Spear. He eggs just in case.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to. He had 300 HP, so an Impetus probably isn't going to be killing you even from that distance. It's a level 1. But they do open up the towers. Right now, when you do have a blink on the Centaur, obviously the mid lane tower is the one that you want the most, so that your Bounty Hunter can move more freely on the map. But even the one on the enemy off lane is fine to be able to invade your enemies.
Kaya Sanj still a while away for the Storm Spirit. 9 class also looking up towards the base boots. Snaking, giving a bit of a headache here for this Marcy. When you're doing this well from the laning stage, it must feel really fun to play an Enchantress, because you can be pretty much anywhere you want.
Yeah, that's the idea. He's just going to be sending in creeps and going very deep. Even if he loses his life, it's not that big of a deal, right? Because Parivision lineup, they were made to get these kills from time to time, but you're going to be getting so much info for your team, and imagine a farmed Lifestealer in this one with like awesome timings is going to be amazing, right? So Parivision, I really like what they're doing though, right? They've slowed down the game. It's not necessarily something that their lineup should do, but it's the only play at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the game plan has shifted so much that it is a good sign coming from them. But for Falcons, things are still looking solid. 6k lead ahead at 15 minutes. All of their 3 cores right behind Satanic's Morphling.
You still have to be afraid of that Morphling. I mean, he is the ultimate carry in this game. If you look at it, he has a Lifestealer to turn into Steal the Rage. Then or even the Pango for mobility if he feels like he doesn't need the defensive capabilities of the Rage.
We're going to be seeing a pretty early Conda. What do you think about this on the Morphling? Sometimes we shift to Morphling picking it up later, but he wants to have it right after the Mantle.
It's all about, I want to kill you, right? So he wants to help his team get that initial kill. Whoever it is, core or support, you just get them down. These Bounty Hunter lineups, they're very good because they see and they poke, and then they go when they see an opportunity to finish somebody off without much commitment. So if you just take one out, it takes a lot away from the Falcons lineup. So I like it, right? You definitely know your team needs more damage, needs more burst, and you're going to help.
See what they can do here. Setting up around the Bounty Hunter, Parivision to find a kill off of the Bounty. And that going for Satanic. No one comes in as well. They hope to target Amar, knowing that they're short-handed for now, but with that Stampede, they're going to bring everybody together. Skitter, going to be here as well. They're going to jump to Colin. Also Satanic, hitting in the back, trying to take Snaking's Enchantress out of the way, but he gets Infest healed, and he's going to be all right. Satanic won't be able to follow up on that, and Ducalis will be traded supports 1 for 1.
It's still fine, right? You killed the Bounty Hunter. Did he get the track onto the CM? I think not, right? So overall, if the Bounty Hunter is away from the map, that's quite okay, even if you're losing the CM.
Is under attack.
Unlucky find.
Setting up towards mid, they see the Pangolier. But Pango just quickly backs out. Snaking is also here with crits.
You just need to be safe now if you're Parivision. You're hiding from Falcons, they might be increasing their lead, but your Morphling is at the top. And I think Satanic understands that he is incredibly powerful in this game. The Phoenix Egg, if you take care of the Lifestealer, it's gonna pop anyways. Yeah, sure, we've seen DM crush it on the Phoenix, but in this game, you might be more of a team fight area controller rather than the one just murdering everybody. And I think right now, Parivision, with the way that they're playing, they kind of understand their role, but so do Falcons, because they're going for a smoke. It's time to get some of those track kills going.
Radiant are scanning.
Now you got to be really careful with your trades, especially if you're Parivision, not to give too many away to Falcons. And as mentioned, the one-on-one.
found
The
Amar.
win for Falcons. Amar being targeted. Stampede's available, but he's got stun locked. 9 class will die to the Blade Mail, and Marine brings in Skitter. They'll take down Dakalis. And 2 for 1. Parivision, Delta split to make sure that they can get as many people out of there as possible. Morphling, waveform, TP out. Nobody nearby. No cancel for you. The lack of crowd control as soon as that Pango ulti's gone and the Centaur is dead. All you really have is a bounty hunter needs something like a force staff to follow down to the low ground and get your invis hit for a TP break. So for now, Parivision, they can definitely get away pretty easily.
I feel like both of the teams are quite happy with this in some way, because on one side you're getting those track kills, on the other side the Morphling is getting bigger and bigger. So Falcons, their lineup is working out. For Parivision, not the entirety of it, but this Morphling that has been picked on the 18 pick as something that should be like the strongest hero on the map is doing its job, and at some point it's gonna become scary for Falcons.
Yeah, the Morphling will definitely still have a role to play in this game. Combined with this core Phoenix, even if his net worth is looking a bit grim for the time being, there's still ways for Parivision to fight throughout this entire duration of Game 1.
Dire's
I mean,
top
200
tower
gold
is
away
under
from the
attack.
Shiva, and Shiva is kind of the item that you need. Everything else is a bonus. That is your main one. Level 12, Shiva's Guard makes killing the egg very, very tough. And really, when you look at Falcons, the best hero to doing it is the Lifestealer. The other ones aren't that amazing. But also, I mean, you do have the Stampede to run away from it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, they're going to find their first tower kill in the top lane on the side of
Dire's top
Parivision, so the
tower
map
has
has
fallen.
finally been opened up for the first time for them. But for Falcons, still pressuring all the way from mid to bottom. They keep doing this zigzag, and you look at that aggressive vision down there as well in the bottom half of the map. This is a scary place to be in if you're Parivision.
Oh, 9 class takes it away. He is going to be retracked again, so they know exactly where he is, and they want him. Mallory
They're
is
coming in. Beep, beep. Pango brings in the Skitter, Lifestealer. They'll finish off 9 class. Meanwhile, the Tormentor was also taken, so Dakalis will be given the shard.
Radiant's
That's actually a
bottom
big
tower
one. Crystal
under
Clone is
attack.
a nice one to help you versus the Pango. If sometimes you can get yourself on a high ground or onto the low ground to get yourself away. An extra round of Crystal Maiden spells is something that can change
Radiant
the outcome of fights.
structures are
That is why, I
fortified.
mean, this hero was made so squishy, because her spells are amazing. And if you don't get her down immediately, it can be very, very scary for your team.
The creep wave just got dragged completely by the Ench creep, so they're like, well, we don't have a creep wave to hit the mid T1, so we'll just send the
Dire's
heroes
middle
instead.
tower is under attack.
Morphling leading the
Dire's
charge, another
structures
glyph
are
use. This is
fortified.
actually their tier 2 glyph they'll use for this, so they try to keep these T1s up as long as possible.
Orchid is almost done on the Storm Spirit, right? Then it is a second item Orchid, so they didn't see him just rush it. So now nobody's gonna have ways to remove it. This gives you the capabilities to bring down a
Oh, the jump
Lifestealer.
goes out onto DM by Amar. Just a bit of poke here from Crit and Amar. Trying to
Radiant's
drop him low
bottom
with the
tower
vessel.
is under attack.
Not going to be enough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I can't wait to see if Parivision are going to try to go aggressive with this Orchid. You definitely want to. Even a Lifestealer is a target. He doesn't have his SNY just yet. Maybe he decides that Manta is the better way to go.
Let's see if the smoke works out here for Falcons moving towards the top half. No one actually did draw a line that they're suspecting this to be
they
the
saw
area of
Orchid now.
engagement. Satanic picked up the Wisdom Rune. He's going to be nearby, but no one doesn't get the chance to recover. And the Storm Spirit will go down. Big kill for Falcons.
Dude, Malorine has been having an awesome tournament, right? I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking at that Boundless Strike from yesterday, but he has just been doing everything right in these games. It's just so hard to play versus him.
Ultra finds Dakalis and a TP cancel just in time for another, and that's a track kill.
He stayed there for too long. He had opportunities to get himself away, but he waited a little bit longer than he should have. Parivision are still going to have all 5 of their heroes alive at the same time, right? Both the Storm and the CM coming at the exact same moment, so
Yep.
they are going to be ready for that smoke.
We're still going to have to wait for some timings, but dude, Satanic's farm speed is just insane on this Morphling. Like, he's at 14,000 gold
Kanda
right
ready.
now. The Kanda is ready, the Manta is ready. He like, I don't know how he does it, but I think Lacoste mentioned it pretty well yesterday that we need to start studying this guy. Start looking at his replays on how he plays, because he is very consistent.
Very, very consistent. And nope, seeing somebody so young, he's still 17, hasn't hit the 18 just yet. play the game so calmly, even in under rough situations like this game is for sure. He is doing exactly what he needs to be, and now when he does have that burst potential, Parivision, I don't even look at them as they're behind any longer. Next fight could very easily go their way on the back of this Morphling.
Well, they just smoked themselves up at the outpost, and I think Falcons know
ward.
where to go. Under the ward, indeed. So they will get the chance to back out before Falcons gets the jump on them. Get away with that Aegis on the Morphling.
Look at the wave in the mid lane, though. Somebody's gonna have to deal with that on the Falcon side, but they know that Parivision are smoked up, as we mentioned. So let's see if they want to.
Yeah, who springs the trap?
Because you know where they're going. When you see that wave towards the mid lane, you are sure what they're gonna be up to. And well, they don't send anybody there. Very smart from Falcons. That ward, close to the pit. Really
and this is actually pretty big. You got the shard on the bounty hunter. Once you hit level 15, you get that damage reduction on it as well. But crit, you don't have it now. No matter how long you stay in invis, you're gonna need a couple more levels until you pick up that damage reduction talent.
He probably thought that they'd given up, considering that the Tormentor was taken. Oh, we've been made, we're just gonna go farm. But no, Parivision, they wait because they know this is their timing, and around the mid lane, they can most definitely...
Oh, that's how you set up a perfect ambush, as now they're gonna pop the Orchid on top of the Enchantress, and Enchantress down, a Satanic will find a kill. Morphling to get his third kill of this game, and now the BKB also lined up in his quick buy, followed up by a potential other Orchid. No one. He's going a bit absolutely ham here. He dodges the stun from Amar, gives a bit of poke here, but the backup needs to get there in time. It's the double supports, but they're not going to be there in time, and no one feeling also a bit worried about the damage he's taking. Even if that regen rune was on him, it expires, and he's looking to hunt Amar still even deeper.
The smoke didn't break, so Amar doesn't necessarily know about this. There's a headset issue that is going to be fixed immediately, so that we can get ourselves back in the game. But Amar does seem like he's gotten out of this one. Up.
And slowly here, Parivision fans also waking up towards the day. They still believe that their team can take this win, and it's totally doable. Falcons, however, got to find their footing back into this one. Do they wait for this Aegis to expire, or are we just going to look at classic Falcons? They play pretty much like a star formation on the map. They're all pretty much spread out here and there and hope that they can find a pickoff.
Well, that's the idea, but you're playing versus a Storm Spirit with an Orchid, so it is quite tough to do so. And Skitter, he is underneath his own vision, so he should be protected by it so far. But overall, Parivision are going to be looking for kills, looking to play very aggressively, and I really like the Satanic is queuing up the BKB. Because what do you do? How do you deal with the Morphling? You bring him down from 100 to 0. When he has the Aegis, very hard to do. Even if you do it, there's going to be a turnaround. Once he gets the BKB, it becomes increasingly difficult. And this guy's focus has been laser throughout this tournament, so I don't think you're getting the stun off on him that easily. It has to be Bounty Hunter hit into Hoof Stomp.
This is a big rune. This is a really big rune, and can they use it to their advantage here? You got an Axe also picked up on the Pangolier.
There's the bottle. Oh boy. That's gonna be a 500 damage Morphling, maybe even more than that.
If they can only use it appropriately. For those Conda shots, those things hurt a lot.
They look like they want to jump high ground. I mean, why wouldn't they? They have the Phoenix Egg to hold that area, even against the
same. Someone's going to show when the wave defended. Marine gets the blink out. The smokes pop simultaneously. But Satanic wants to force, they want to force them back into the base.
They did purge off the AD rune, so that is the big part of the Enchantress. So
but a quick poke, this is something that Falcons does quite a lot as well. They do some damage, they force them back, they run away. Parivision doing the same thing here, but now Falcons, they probably want to do something here, moving out of the base with the smoke and hope to maybe catch Parivision.
DM is going to start running back, right? They're playing around their vision. DM just made sure that the top lane is going to get pushed out at some point, and again, it is going to be Parivision. If they continue controlling the mid lane, they're going to have two waves pushing towards their opponent, so they're just going to stay here.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a Mexican standoff. Just a staring battle on both sides of the map. Well, at least Falcons feel like they could maybe cross over.
The Callis is left
down
alone.
The mid lane, and oh, that's not a good place for a CM to be if they
spotted him.
Crit, very close to finding this Crystal Maiden, but no, not this time around.
He has Force Staff and a Crystal Claw, and it's not that easy of a kill.
Just that there's nobody around. Now Storm actually running in towards the Pango. They'll spot each other's. And snaking. Oh, that is very deep to be right now. That's a huge nuke from the Kanda. Surprise element strikes, but no one goes down. The Storm Spirit out. Go trade 1 for 1. 15 seconds on that Aegis. Hammering versus Amar. 9 class does go down at the same time. Satanic wants to take Amar out. He gets the stun, but he still dies. DM will get the kill. Dakala, CM ulti, forces Skitter away. Marine coming in from the side, finishes off the Crystal Maiden, and now crit. They are going to be 3 versus 2. What can they do? Morphling is doing so much damage. They can't do anything. Skitter is afraid. Marine goes down. And Parivision will get the majority. It's a 3 for 3 trade. The Aegis expiring, but they cannot touch Satanic.
It's still some track kills for Falcons, but as you mentioned, they just can't deal with this Morphling. And sure, you were winning the game, but you just allowed them to get everything in this one. I mean, the only reason that this fight is even remotely okay for you is because Malrine is a god, and he finds no one, takes him down from 100 to 0. Imagine if you had a Storm in this game, just silencing one hero and taking him out. It would be a disaster for Falcons. Morphling, I don't know how they deal with him, and he didn't even have to pop his 9-second BKB.
Yeah, probably those items and answers are going to come in later for Falcons in this game. But they have found ways to kill everybody else. 9 class did assist Satanic in taking 1 or 2 of those kills. He helped with the Enchantress to fall, then assisted right after going on towards the Centaur. DM gets that kill, so it was actually a double kill going towards the Phoenix. So DM is getting much needed gold. He's catching up to the rest of the pack.
Sure. But I like what Falcons are doing, right? They bought a gem. They're thinking, we're going to do this with superior vision. One thing that you can always do to a Morphling is bring him down from 100 to 0, and their lineup is capable of doing it. Nice jump with the Pango, follow-up hoof stomp, the burst can be there, but they have to see him before he sees them.
Meanwhile, no chance to jump out again. He will fall to crit, getting a kill. Another track going the way of Falcons. The call is in DM though. Amar quite deep here.
And help is coming.
He's already popped the pipe here, but Satanic interrupting them from the side. He's got a Shadow Blade. He might just surprise him completely, but I think he realizes something is going on here because Skitter shows up, and that bounty had way too much HP to be real. Huge stun from Amar. Lands on Jakalis and onto 9 class, both taking big chunks of damage. Jakalis drops down, and 9 class will fall to Snaking, throwing the impetus spears right on the back of that Marcy.
No gold at the end of the rainbow here, so they're thinking maybe about, do we even need to kill this Morphling? We're just gonna kill every single one of his friends. And if Falcons get tanky enough on their heroes, this burst potential of the Morphling is just not gonna be as high. So you really need to be careful when you're giving away these track kills, because you can see just how fast the gold lead just doubles.
Satanic thought that with that Shadow Blade, he might have a small opening to surprise Falcons, but at the same time, he got revealed. And that gem, most importantly, on that Centaur did reveal Morphling on the edge.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a item versus a Morphling now in Aghanims on the Lifestealer. So getting into the Morphling, disarming him takes a big chunk of his damage. Sure, Waveform, Adaptive Strike, somebody gets low, but you still need a couple of right clicks to take them down. If the Morphling doesn't have them, and for 5 seconds at that, it is going to be rough for him to do what his team needs him. You need to take somebody away from Falcons. So we're going to be looking at this Lifestealer and Skitter if he can disarm that Morphling in the fights.
There's one thing I really want to see happen in this game, because I see the Ags lined up on the Centaur, is that Amar picks up Snaking into the cart, and then you just whacking those spears on your opponents, like right wherever you want to be. And maximizing the damage output of the distance too, because you're always on the move.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. He's queuing up a Mage Slayer on the Enchantress, but I was thinking like a Moon Shard would be a pub build, especially in this kind of a circumstance. And Falcons have been known to go for those from time to time, but I feel like Snaking is usually the consistent one, somebody who doesn't want to change things too much.
Well, he's a pretty solid damage dealer, at least. That could be an option to consider for Falcons. Let's see if they do that or not. Though, Roshan, it's going to be about 50 seconds now.
Dire's top
and it will spawn during daytime, so it will be in the bottom right corner where Parivision already have vision laid out.
Let's see how long that ward will be staying up. It has more than half duration, so Parivision have a great way to fight the Roche.
Falcons, meanwhile, a bit of invasion here towards the bottom half of the map, making their way there. They want to be there before
Dire's
Parivision
top
does.
tower is under attack.
Parivision have a big problem with this Enchantress creeps that is constantly shoving in the waves. It just makes your moves predictable. But they're just gonna go straight up for it. You just need to make a nice move towards your ward. If you can go from that area, then that would be an amazing angle.
Radiant are scanning.
Pretty close to each other's here with Mars still hiding Skitter. Lifestealer will get unleashed.
They're allowing Parivision to gain some ground.
They're
If you're
close.
coming
They're
from
really
up-
close now. But the edge here is that Bounty Hunter shard where you can give your invis to your allies, so you don't have to waste too many smokes. You have your invis of your own.
The waves are now in a good position for Parivision, so they can stay here for a long time. If Falcons make a mistake and reveal themselves on that ward, that could be the cue for Parivision to go forward.
Dire are scanning.
That is the one that you do not expect. The Centaur is not going there with the gem.
Yeah, Bounty's already level 16, so as long as they stay hidden in invis, was it 30% or 20% damage reduction actually?
For the
For the Bounty.
it is
30%, that's pretty sizable.
That's a big one. But they're just gonna go straight up into the Roche.
Oh, Parivision gonna have to find an answer to this. At least you don't have a clockwork, but you got no one on Storm Spirit. TP coming in from him. Trying to find the timing to jump in the pit. They have to clean up that Morphling illusion. DM forces them away. Roshan giving the roar.
They saw how low it
Marine
was.
is the one focusing on Dekalis for the time being. Roshan
found the
still
Lifestealer.
down. Lifestealer connected on. Skitter gets the
There's the
invent,
disarm.
and with the Aghanims, he jumps to Satanic, but Satanic's gonna drag him further. The egg's gonna be placed there. Can they get the stun? Falcons, perfect exit. Not in harm's way at all. They managed to get out with a kill and still can continue with this Roche.
They've gotten the Roche. At this point, you just have to deal with the losses, right? You lost your Marcy, you lost your egg. It's time to shove out the waves as much as possible during this small time. The Falcons are going to be focusing on Roshan. There we have it, right? Infest into the Morphling. He immediately knows, okay, I'm not killing anyone right now. Let's just try to move back. And also, a perfect time to get out of him. You're thinking he's pulling him deeper in, but they use the Stampede. He goes out and he just runs himself away. Everything done right on the side of Falcons.
Just a clean fight, finding that pick as well. Off of that, Marcy securing the Aegis and the Roche banner. Meanwhile, Snake King's got Amar actually spots him first, but the jam and he's gone! Oh, Satanic getting deleted by Falcons.
Yep, you bought that gem and you're thinking the opportunity will come, the opportunity will come. There's the opportunity. They finally found him, and as we spoke, if you get the stun on him, he will go down. The burst damage on Falcons, it is there.
Satanic's going to be rubbing his forehead for a bit there, like, oof, I will not expect that to happen so quickly, especially since he didn't have vision.
And it's
When
going to
that
become
Centaur is.
easier, as now I think you have all of your core items on Falcons, and you can start thinking towards the late game, right? Aghanim Scepter on the
Radiant's top
Centaur,
tower is
this
under attack.
Scythe on the Bounty Hunter. That is another way to counter both the Storm and the Morphling. These two heroes are gonna have to be very careful, and when you look at it, you don't really have a frontliner, right? It has been your Morphling going
Radiant's
forward.
top
Who's
tower
gonna be?
has
Phoenix?
fallen.
No, you don't want him to die at the start. Storm as well, gonna be a big problem for you. It's very hard for Parivision now to get some good ground on the map.
Oh, you've got 9 class pretty close here to the
Radiant's
supports of
top
Falcons.
tower is under
You're going to
attack.
keep an eye open on him. He's got the Ghost Scepter to save him from now, but the enchant comes after. He's trying to go for the TP. Oh, snaking. Oh! Those are some powerful spears you're throwing directly. He burns almost all of his mana for this one. And they're hunting for no one. He's going for the Lotus Pool. He's going to reveal Malrine where he is. Does he read correctly where the Storm Spirit's going to be? As that ulti's about to run out.
You can steal the Wisdom Rune if he checks.
No.
It's still there. That would be a nice one to grab, but the Lifestealer is getting an Orchid. And it's not only an Orchid he's gunning for, it is going to be a full Bloodthorn. So what you're looking at right now, if you're Falcons, you want to have even more potential to burst somebody down.
Oh, no one's
Extract him.
Gotta be careful here. Quick TP out to safety. They're probably thinking that, yeah, he stole our Wisdom Rune. Oh, it's still here.
Healing power.
The Tormentor is still here, but not for long. That's going
A
to be a nice
shard
to have.
for snaking. So yeah, this Ench is truly going to be a force to be reckoned with now.
For sure, right? And he's going for a Hex as well. So now you have time for these luxury items. And this is the one thing that the Bounty Hunter does give you, that your supports are going to be hella farmed. Look at the net worth of snaking, right? He's He's pretty much there with all of the cores. Only the Lifestealer and the Morphling are ahead of him.
Yeah, he's popping off on his net worth. But so is Satanic. Just the last time they spotted the Morphling, he got blown up. But 26,000 gold worth of net worth on this man.
It's still hard, right? Because you know that now you can get bursted down. It is going to be very tough for him to think about how he wants to approach the fight. I'm thinking Parivision have to be looking to buy a gem as well. They just basically cannot leave their base, and you're playing versus 2 Invis heroes because the Bounty Hunter has the shard. They've been giving it to the Centaur for the majority of the game.
Yeah. I feel like with the small amount of control that Falcons has, I think it's the best option for Morphling to turn into a Lifestealer and pick up Rage. But there are a couple of good options to turn into.
They're hunting.
And Skitter looking not too far away.
They're in that
from
shadow walk.
Parivision heroes. They see the camp has literally just died and no one. Any warning signs for it? Oh.
Where are your ankles? No one. Yeah, he probably stopped breathing like you, Panda. That's the only way that they weren't able to know exactly where he's at.
All right, well, definitely have some talent in there. No one.
Level 20 Refresher Phoenix. That is quite huge, right? You're dealing with a Stampede on the Centaur. I think if Centaur sees this Refresher, he might actually think about one of his own.
They are going to be pretty stuck inside their base for now, at least for Parivision, waiting for that Aegis to expire. What happens after? Do Parivision just leave their base and try to find Falcons on the map, or is it still a game of push a wave, get back, push a wave, get back?
I mean, I think it will give them the confidence to get out on the base and control at least one area. Because as you can see right now on the map, they don't really have any vision. They have one ward outside of it, right? It's not really a lot. So you need to get out on the map. But I still think that without the gem, very soon it's going to be taken back. Collis?
Oh, there's a Hex on this snaking Enchantress. Whoa, what can you do? That is such a rich Enchantress when you see a Hex on this support as well. And just look at that damage. It's just nothing that the Crystal Maiden can do. Meanwhile, in the river, Amar picks up the Shield Rune, so this is a very tanky Centaur, but they are looking to burst through the Blade Mail. They'll get the kill, but they're damaged. They're low. Falcons might find an opening. They got the Hex onto DM. DM, he's trying to survive for as long as possible for his teammates to at least get their TPs out. His TP is cancelled. 9 class and DM will die. Satanic TP's home. Malrine almost catching him as well. And they're just building up on the control side.
Double Hex, Bloodthorn done. The burst potential of Falcons is insane. Satanic and no one are gonna have to play a perfect game of Dota every single time. Even this Phoenix is very hard to catch. I don't know why Parivision are not buying that gem. It's just impossible to play at the moment. You're just gonna get caught over and over again like this.
Aggressive jump there from no one. Doesn't quite catch Malrine or Skitter, and no one will go in. Tried to jump against the Pango, gets hexed up, silenced, he's just gone. Satanic gets an opening though, takes down Snake King, and now focuses attention to Crit. He'll take another support. Now fighting versus Skitter. The control is gone. Fighting against Skitter. Satanic! What an absolute unit! And the question marks dropped in chat.
Yeah, like how did this happen? Maybe they're even unsure.
Malrine jumping around on top of Ducalis, but Satanic is still there. It's a 1v3. What can he do here? TP out? Another question mark?
Yeah,
No,
like
not this time around.
yeah, it would be cool if they go like, what the hell are you doing? But this is just the thing that the Morphling does. So we thought about who's gonna be the frontliner. No one says it's gonna be me. I'm not the star player on this team any longer. We've got a young star, so I'm just gonna go in and create an opportunity for him to go forward. Once again, he just doesn't even need the BKB if he's got vision. It's still at 9 seconds. Like unreal. He bought it like 20 minutes ago.
Can I repeat the sentence I always say? You spot a good carry player from when he uses his BKB.
Yeah, that's one of tweets that Milan did. He was a part of the previous Fissure tournament, not here at the Fissure Playground, but we are going to be quoting him.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, That win probability takes a tiny shift towards the right. I believe we were at somewhere between 20 and 25% for Parivision. So the game and graphs are not fully bought yet on Parivision's side, even though Satanic is definitely earning a bit of respect already.
They got some nice deep vision there on the right. If they want to be going towards the Tormentor, you can see a line being drawn by the Collis. The problem is that the waves are still being pushed out, so
They
have
a good position if they hold it, but do they have the surprise element anymore? You got Marine right nearby. 9 class sees him. Quick disengage. Parivision not ready for this fight, but the BKB from no one. He'll be able to fight back, at least force out the Infest Bomb off of Skitter and Amar. Sunray is doing a ton of work here. DM, the Hex on the Morphling. He's going to be okay. Marine is at the back. Egg's going to be used, and Falcons will disengage from the area. They will wait for the Egg. And now might turn around. No one's courier. Luckily not bringing anything, for no one is dead by crit. And now Amar jumps in again with Skitter, again with Invest, but he's just dropping down, and they cannot save him. Satanic the fight versus him, and you've got the Enchantress hammering down 9 class. Buyback comes in from him, and focusing on that Enchantress, pushing it up to the onto the high ground, but they're not done yet. They're not done yet. Can Falcon still find an opening in? Skitter waiting for his Infest to come back up, and hopefully Falcons could still fight again. And yes, no one with no mana. They'll get a moment to breathe, collect their thoughts.
DM, he used the refresher, so he does have the Egg, and now there's no Stampede to make them run away if he can find a good opening.
Still patiently scouring the area. 40 seconds for that scent to come back up. 9 class, so he's going to get caught on the low ground. They're going to blow up the Marcy unless that Sunray. DM keeps him alive, but not long enough. Meanwhile, Satanic's got no mana. Marine's on top of him. No one's hexed up. No one needs one more hit from Snakegate to finish him off, and he goes for the safe teleport out. Decalis is TPing out. They're trying to get everybody away from there. They'll save the majority, and the Morphling also gone. So Parivision, unfortunate for them, it is a Roshan for Falcons, which they were aiming for. But Parivision don't at least lose pretty much all of their team, because they were running out of resources.
And Refresher Shard is so amazing. It's either a double Stampede or a double Rolling Thunder. Both of those spells quite huge for the Falcon side. And it just goes to show, right? If you look at this Parivision lineup, these very, very, very long fights are not good for them. You're gonna lose the resources on your Storm. So you want the Morphling to kill people faster. And in that fight, it just wasn't allowed. He goes in, Hex. He goes in, another Hex. Then he gets disarmed. It is hard for Satanic to find openings, but he's still keeping his... I'll actually use the 9-second BKB. It's still high charges anyways.
Also, you have to see the impact of this Phoenix coming in at 45 minutes into the game. Oh, Snaking!
That's a really good grab if they can get it.
That's a very quick kill for Parivision. But indeed, the Phoenix is starting to show with that Sunray. Everybody itemizes, everybody levels up, they get more HP, Sunray becomes better, good scaling. It was almost enough to keep someone like 9 class on the Marcy support alive, but you're gonna need a little bit more than that to really kick in that percentage-based heal.
And he also went for the level 20 talent for the Sunray, so it's even more so.
All right, well, they got Satanic. Can they kill the Morphling? Yes, they can. Skitter will get this one. And they are returning the tips. They want to phase. They want to poke this youngster. Satanic so far has been cool as a cucumber. But maybe now Falcons, they're trying to find any way that they can hurt him, either by bullying him in the game or tipping him or whatever. They're going to try and find a weakness and exploit it.
Finally, Parivision have a gem, right? It's on the Storm Spirit. Now, if you can delay enough so that the Morphling doesn't have to buy back, you are gonna have those opportunities to control the map and go for the fights that you need. But Falcons are gonna give it their all to make sure this buyback is forced out.
Absolutely. Parivision, they don't want to burn it lightly. They might even sack a lane of Rax if that is the case. No one in 9th class gonna try their hardest here. Amar does get the stun on him, the Sunray, and they do they have the egg placed down? Yes, they do. Now they pop the egg right on top of Falcons, but they've lost one. They've done a lot of damage to Skitter. Decalis will die to Marine. They'll lose their support. They'll lose their Phoenix Egg, and they still need 30 seconds to get the Morphling back up.
They have a second Phoenix Egg. They're really trying to save this buyback, but at what cost at this point? Not sure it's even worth it, and Amar is trying to find an opening again.
Falcons just making easy work here in the base. They know there's nothing that's
They're
going to
letting it
challenge
go.
them right now. They're going to have to sack this lane. Falcons are going to be very happy with what they've achieved here.
Radiant's top
Kamar wants to
barracks
catch him
has
off guard.
fallen.
If they can get the Morphling right after he respawns, and you're gonna know exactly from which side he's coming from. No, they just want the second glyph as well. That is what you're gunning for.
He's still ready to jump in though.
Just waiting for the Morph.
And there's the jump and he spots the Morph. He stuns DM as well. The Hexes are there. Can they get Morphling out of the way? The Sunray does nothing. Satanic is dead. The Hex destroyed. Falcons will clean them up, and now you need to burn some buybacks, otherwise your base is going to be in shambles.
Even through him morphing into almost full strength, the Sunray killing him, it doesn't matter. At this point, you just have more than enough damage. He has to get the BKB off. For that to happen, you need those 4 staffs. You need the supports alive.
Beautiful patience from Amar in that previous fight. Now they just need to clean things up. Satanics and DM's buybacks coming in. 9 class. He's hurt, but he's not dead. Skitter has that Aegis. They might be able to burn it out. That's 1. Snaking running away. 9 class is about to drop. None of the Ghost Scepter. Burst away. He will go down. Marine lives. Skitter touches in. Satanic is trying his absolute hardest.
No mana, no one.
Parivision still hold this base. Marine will go onto the supports. No one's DP cancel. No one to die here. He is out. He got them a buyback. The Collis buys back in as well. They're throwing bodies at them right now, and they might go! Huge card save, getting Skitter out.
He looked dead. It was over. They just needed 1 or 2 more hits, and now fed the cheese. They can continue going forward. You've got no more buybacks, and you're in a 4 versus 5 scenario. Falcons, they can most definitely continue this siege.
They have done so much work already in here. They forced every single buyback out of Parivision. And who did they lose? They lost an Aegis. They literally just lost an Aegis.
Okay, and the cheese, right? And also there was a refresh shard used by Malrine. So
But no one is dying. And Amar is looking for another opening in. Morphling is dropping. Satanic to fall. They've done it. Falcons finally break that chokehold off of Parivision. And that, they don't have to think anymore. Now it's just execution time. Sunray coming out from DM, but he's dying in the fountain at the same time. GG's called. Falcons will take game number 1.
It's just that in the early stages of the game when Parivision needed to get that early